From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast with Scott Sander.
Welcome to the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast. I'm Scott Sander. On this episode,
we continue our nod to Women's History Month by featuring several successful female business owners. Find out how you can be part of the next PitchFeast. And our industry focus looks at the local side of the RV business.
Every business is unique and has a target audience. If you own or manage a business, Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble, offering best-in-class results, service, and support to reach a bigger customer base, allowing you to pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. Get outside the city, the state, span the globe. Put Circulus Digital Media to work for you. Get started now at circulusdigital.com. That's circulusdigital.com.
More than $50,000 in investment capital is on the line in the PitchFeast business competition for entrepreneurs of color. PitchFeast founder Kendria Williams gives us the details.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Access to capital.
As a business owner, I just really wanted to understand, what would it take for me to start a business here, right? And so just venturing off and visiting different entities, trying to understand the resources they provided, and then getting, frustrated with some of the resources that I found. I just realized that there was a gap, right? And there was a gap when it came to serving Black and brown entrepreneurs. And, I just wanted to stand in that gap, hold their hand, help them move to that next level. Essentially, we formed what it's called, it's PitchFeast right now. It's a community crowdfunding event where we support Black and brown entrepreneurs and help them get access to funding for their business. When we first started PitchFeast, we were essentially hosting a dinner and inviting the audience to come out and listen to the ideas of the entrepreneurs who were pitching, right? Now we have moved into a partnership with Impact Central Indiana, and we're able to align the entrepreneurs we work with additional resources that can really be impactful to their business. And so today, we're able to align $25,000 in investment dollars opposed to the $200 or $300 we were given when we first started. Our greatest success story has to be the Rivoli Park project. And it was not a business entity, it was a community idea in a community that had a bridge that basically had graffiti and blight. And the neighborhood wanted to get rid of this blight. And so collectively, they had went to an artist and they asked the artist, can you paint over this mural? And the artist said, if you get the materials, I'll paint over the mural for you. And so they came, they actually pitched in PitchFeast for the materials. They just needed paint, right? They actually won $600. They were able to bring the artist in, he painted the mural, and today the mural is still there. And so for me, that type of impact, right, I couldn't give it up. I could not keep moving. So we do PitchFeast 2 times a year with our partnership with Impact Central Indiana, once in May and then in September. And again, like I said, we are aligning our entrepreneurs with impactful investment dollars. And so with these events that we have with Impact, our first place winner will receive $25,000 in investment money. Second place winner will get $15,000 in investment money, and in third place will get $10,000 in investment money. And we still have the audience favorite where they will receive $5,000 in investment money. One of our recent winners, she was able to actually take on new employees, right, which allowed her to take on new clients and just increase her revenue, I think, by 3 times the amount. We've had entrepreneurs, buy software, buy a van to deliver their product, right? Again, hire employees, so these investment dollars are really there for you to use inside of your business in any way to help you grow. Applications are open for May. That closes on April 5th. We will announce who the finalists are on April 19th, and hopefully they'll join us on May 20th for the event. Any Black and brown entrepreneur that resides in Central Indiana should apply, first of all. If you are early on in your business, right, and you just need some support, if you need to hire some staff, right, some software, whatever you need to take that business to the next level, please apply to Pitch and PitchFeast. We are very industry agnostic. That means we are not focused on a particular industry or sector. And then our investment partners are so friendly when it comes to the investment dollars that they are providing to the Black and brown entrepreneurs. I mean, it's absolutely a support of mechanism of support for them. Some of the best things I see is when I see two of my PitchFeast winners working together on a project. And so there is so much collaboration going on because you got to remember these are peers, right? They're peers once they come through PitchFeast. And so they collaborate, they work together, they go out, they spend time together. PitchFeast, we have really been able to create a family with our alumni here. And so, yeah, we're able to see a lot of collaboration between our PitchFeast winners. The energy at PitchFeast is always, everyone wins at PitchFeast, right? So if you don't win on stage, you're still going to win a connection in a room. You might pick up a partnership. You might find a donor or a sponsor. You know, there are so many possibilities of just moving your business forward outside of just pitching when you come to PitchFeast. I just encourage you to go ahead and apply because, you know, the world could be missing out on just a really great business opportunity, and we can't let fear continue to hold us back.
Tamara Winfrey Harris is president of the Women's Fund of Central Indiana and a national thought leader on issues of gender and race.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities, running your business day to day.
I am Tamara Winfrey Harris, and I am the president of Women's Fund of Central Indiana. So Women's Fund is almost 30 years old. We were started in 1996 by Dr. Diane Brashear, a bunch of founding mothers, and we convene, invest, and advocate so that everyone who identifies as a woman or girl in Central Indiana has equitable access to opportunity to reach their full potential, no matter their place, race, or identity. And one of the ways we do that is through grant making. We have awarded more than $10 million in grants over our history. Oh, there was plenty of serendipity in my career path, which I think is great. So my background is in journalism. I spent some time working on a copy desk as at a newspaper. And then I went into consumer marketing and PR, so worked for lots of agencies and had clients like McDonald's Corporation and Georgia Pacific and Quaker Oats. And then I started doing that for not-for-profits. Got to work for the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago and here in Indianapolis at the Idle George Museum before coming to Central Indiana Community Foundation. But along that whole time, I was also a writer, and I focused on areas of race and gender, and so was able to get published and was able to speak nationally. And so I kind of had a 9 to 5 and a 5 to 9. And my 5 to 9 was really focusing on women and girls and their experiences. So when an opportunity arose at the Women's Fund, it seemed like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to bring together my communications, my philanthropy skills with my love of women and girls. I think women have always been supportive of each other. I think there's been more recognition of the importance of women's spaces and the importance of supporting women in doing that support and doing that work. And so I think we have learned a lot. I mean, think of it. It was women working together that got us the vote in 1920. So we've been working together for a long, long time. But I think more organizations are realizing the importance of empowering us to do what we do best. So I always say the first thing anyone needs to do is actually listen to women. And that's actually what we did last year. Last year we did the most extensive community listening and landscape analysis and organizational assessment in our history. And women told us that number one, far and away, they were concerned about health. And underneath health, they said their access to reproductive health care, our infant and maternal mortality rates, which are very bad here in Indiana, and mental health with a specific focus on girls. Because if you've looked at the numbers coming out of the height of the COVID epidemic, girls are struggling. They also said economic mobility. They're concerned about being able to support themselves and their families. Career development, which kind of ties to economic mobility, and their personal safety and intimate partner violence. But one, I will say, there are lots of not-for-profits that are working in those spaces. And I also think we need to do a little bit more identifying of the problem. You know, one of the things that Women's Fund is doing this year is we're working with the Polis Center on a State of Women report. so we can define exactly what the experience of women is in Central Indiana. And that's all women, because we all know our intersecting identities can impact us. And I think at the end of this year, between that report and the Girl Report, which was done by the Girl Scouts and Girl Coalition, we'll have an unprecedented look at what it means to be a woman and a girl in Central Indiana. So we're going to make sure, actually, we're working together. I just met with Girl Scouts and Girl Coalition last week to talk about how we can both make those reports widely available, because I think it will be important not just for women and girls serving organizations, but for anyone who makes decisions about women and girls. I think it's important for your viewers to know that women and girls specific issues get less than 2% of all U.S. philanthropic giving. We are more than half of the population, so less than 2%, and women and girls of color get less than 1%. And so that means that a lot of the people who are working to solve our most critical issues are unsupported and under-resourced. So I hope, as we're wrapping up Women's History Month, that people who are watching will consider the support that women and girls serving organizations need. And I think that's why intersection is so important when you're talking about doing the work of women and girls, because it really isn't enough to just say, woman, we're doing things for women, because, you know, the ways that sexism impact us depends. You know, rural women tend to have children younger. You know, there are food deserts, you know, both in urban areas and rural areas. There are problems that are specific to older women. Even if you look at the wage gap, you know, women, I believe in Indiana, it's 72% for every dollar that a white man makes. But trans women make like 60 cents on the dollar. Native women make 51 cents on the dollar. So it's very important that when we talk about women and girls, that we think about how their other identities and other things actually impact their experiences. There is something to me that's so inspiring about being in the company of women. It just is. And since I took this job about a year ago, the amazing women that I've met, you know, whether they are grantees or the people our grantees service or my board members or our options alumna, it's just it reminds me every day how amazing we are and how amazing we can be when we're fully supported.
Northern Indiana is known for being the RV capital of the world. The industry dates back to the 1930s. When you see an RV on the road or at a local dealership, odds are it was built in Indiana. Keith Dix is the owner of Touchdown RV in Zionsville. He fell in love with the freedom and adventure that recreational vehicles offer. Though 10 years ago, he opened his business offering top-tier RV rentals. Though, as we found out, some of his rental customers are so happy they end up buying them.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Industry Focus.
Touchdown RV is a full service dealership, but our main focus is on RV rentals. It's going good. It's good. Very seasonal business. So we probably run maybe 6 or 7 months out of the year, and then the RVs sit the rest of the time. But that's where we kind of introduce some more areas where we're doing service, we're doing some sales, and we're also doing parts as well. I've always been intrigued with RVs. So actually, I went to Purdue and I have an IT background. So getting into RVs is a 180 from doing the IT work. But I always been intrigued with RVs. I would see them going down the road and I wonder where they're going. So actually, my brothers and I actually bought an RV. So I always say, just like anything, you get excited about something and then it starts sitting and rotting away. So we actually went through that twice. And then that second time we sold it, we tried to rent one. And we couldn't find one to rent. So that was kind of some indirect market research there. So there's some more piece of pie out there for the rental industry. So ended up buying an RV, put up a website, and waiting on my first customer. We had a tremendous business. We had record years during COVID because this was your little bubble and you can get away from everything. So it did slow down a little bit, but now we're starting to see people, instead of having to go to the airport and having a strict schedule and regimen, now you can come and get an RV, be be able to control your schedule and be able to enjoy. I always say we have what we call a destination disease. We're always looking to get to destination, but I think an RV really allows you to enjoy the journey. Yeah, so I think our customer persona is the typical, family with 2 kids and a dog. You don't have to board your dog. When you come in the RV, you can bring your dog with you. So people is looking for vacations. We have people who go on guys trips, a lot of tailgating. People always ask me about Touchdown RV. Does it have anything to do with sports? So it does a little bit, but I always say it's kind of a play on words. It's kind of like when you get to your destination, you kind of touch down. So that's kind of how we kind of came up with the name. So a lot of different people, you can use RVs for a lot of different things. We have a lot of concerts coming up this year. We're fortunate to be able to provide RVs to different concert artists for green rooms and things like that. We've had wedding parties use the RV, have an outdoor wedding. So a lot of different uses for the RV. Yeah, I think really, I think for my business, and it's kind of built in, I think people experience this, is really the volatility of the business. So again, we're cold. We have some RV owners in Florida and warm weather. They kind of go all year long. But really it's the volatility of the business, where it's seasonal, it gets slow, it gets cold. Of course, no one's taking RVs during the slow season, but really being able to manage your cash flow, manage your finances during those slow season until you get to the busy season again. So it's very important to be able to do that. The number one question I get asked is there a special license required? So no, there's no special license required to do the to drive a RV. I always say that would kill the industry if you had people have to have a special license before you buy an RV. It's funny when people come and they say, "What type of training do I give?" I always tell them it's all courage. So, we definitely show them around, show them how to let the awning out, how to let the slide out. And I always joke and say, 99% of our accidents happen in gas stations. So I've had feedback where someone successfully went in and out of a gas station, went 20 miles down the road, and they were fine the rest of the trip. So we're never going to be here forever. So I would say this is a great way to build memories with their family. Even if you want to buy RV, it's so interesting. I have a lot of conversations with people, and they always say, I tell them I have an RV rental business. They always say, I've always wanted to do that. So this is definitely, providing people a way to be able to experience, the RV trip. My family and I, we love to go RVing. I have a sophomore and an 8th grader, so we don't have too much longer. My wife and I don't have too much longer with them. So we definitely built a lot of memories, with doing trips. And so it's really about building memories. And also, if you want to buy an RV one day, it's a great way to try before you buy. Right now, we're a full dealership, kind of on a small scale. So we definitely, rentals is our main thing, but we definitely want to get into doing more sales. I always joke and say that we're a used car factory. We buy our units straight from the manufacturer, we rent them for a couple years, and then we sell them. And then we kind of rinse and repeat. So that's kind of the business model. So definitely want to expand our sales and definitely expand our service. So we want people to be able to stay become a customer in the RV industry. We had a customer rent from us, we had them buy, and then we also have what we call an owner management program. So when someone can buy an RV, put it in our rental program, and do a revenue split. So we've had somebody go full circle a customer, so that was pretty nice to experience. I love RVing, so I want everybody to experience this at least once in their lifetime. So I think doing the rentals and be able to provide service and sales to people, that's really my passion, is be able just to share it. Hey, take this RV trip, build this memory with your family, and you'll be able to hold on to it forever.
Our thanks again to all the contributors who joined us for this episode of the Business Equity and Opportunities podcast. We hope you found it enlightening, useful, and inspiring. You'll find more information about the show on our website, beoshow.com. You can watch Business Equity and Opportunities Sunday mornings at 10 on Wish TV or live stream it through wishtv.com. Each week we provide 7 full segments with topics ranging from how to get started and how to access capital to the day-to-day running of your business and questions about accounting and bookkeeping. We feature business news and trends and always share a success story from one of our contributors. Join us next time for more insights into the world of small business. Be sure to sign up for our Business Equity and Opportunities newsletter to get even more valuable, up-to-date information. And if you have any questions or you'd like to be part of our show, please email us. The address is beo@wishtv.com. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Scott Sander. Thanks for listening.
Watch the Business Equity and Opportunities Show on Wish TV and access all of our content and share it on demand anytime at beoshow.com. You can find more podcasts from Wish TV on the All Indiana Podcast Network at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.